Let's go! Welcome to the show. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Let's get a topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's kick the show off right.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tink from Project Open Mic. Hope you guys are doing well and everything is going good in any regards. Let me just try one more thing. Nope, I can't do it while I started, so it's what it is. Alright, this is your boy. Just making sure everything is good tonight. How you doing? Tonight's gonna be a different topic, a different show. We're gonna talk about some things. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's doing great. Ready for tonight's show. We also have. We have basically now have upgraded most of our stuff, most of it. Still having technical issues in places and places. The one place I have not got nobody to link up is Facebook for some reason. There's something that's going on with the authorization in the Facebook, so this show is not going to be on that. It's going to basically be posted on Facebook, the page itself, sadly. But other than that, tonight's show, I want to give a preference to a lot of things. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank YouTube, Nico, Twitch, you now, you live. Also for the people going on, like I said, we have upgraded. They got some more stuff. So if you want to listen to podcasts, you want to listen to this later on because you're busy and stuff like that, you can do that by also going to in the description box down there. The platform that has a description box, there are links now to Spotify, so you can catch up on stuff. You also get to Stitcher, Anchor. We are now on also Google Podcasts, but we're also now on Amazon Podcasts if you're an Amazon user. And also, if you're an iHeart user, which is also that. So Project Over Mic is on iHeart, so give it a listen. The app, you go to iHeart, put in Project Over Mic, you should see us. We're basically right there again on iTunes, so we'll be getting there pretty soon as well too. So keep a lookout for that. So with that said, I want to go ahead and set up for tonight's show. So tonight's show is going to be a little different. But the topic is, of course, is going to be about women, and I'm going to point this out. Today's women are the strongest and the weakest they ever been. Now, I want to preface this up front, and hopefully, like I said, people are joining in. I see people joining in, so thank you everybody for joining in. So I want to preface this up front. There's a reason, again, I say at the end of my show, right, that evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, sex, height, gender. It makes no difference. Evil's evil. I say the exact same thing with with good. It comes in all shapes, size, sex, height, gender, nationality, ain't no difference. That's good as well too. So good and evil is in all things and also and is in all things, and also it's a situation where, let's put it like I said, we are fallen people, as people would say, but again, I want to present this. What I'm talking about, this topic, is they are very bad, and you'll be seeing that little couple of that as well too tonight. But there are very evil men out there. Just as this may sound like I'm saying evil to women, but there are great women out there as well. There are great women who are doing great things, who has helped many people in their lifetimes. Again, if you take your time and you take your efforts to do good things in the world, God bless you, and I will back you no matter what race, color you are as a woman. All right, I don't care. There, like I said, there's from, of course, like Margaret Thatcher, from Harriet Tubman, to people like I forgot her, I forgot her name, Joan of Arc, and all. Like, there are many people, women out there who have done great things out there to help people. I mean, and there are also the people out there who have a nice heart. Like my wife, like, when I'm happy that I married her, she has a great heart. She wants to help people in their times of need, just like I do. When time came for me to help people in time of need, I do the exact same thing. So male and female, it makes no difference. The women out there, why I say this as strong as this women have been. There are a lot of women out there there are women out there who are gaining a lot of degrees. There are women out there becoming doctors. There are a lot of women out there who also is becoming great scholars, inventors, biochemists. I've seen people in my industry of architecture who will design and do stuff in architecture. There are women out there who are great car drivers, who are great mechanics. I've known a couple women who are great mechanics. Again, I know another woman who left the military and became a welder and makes $175,000 a year. And God bless her for doing that. There were great women who work. When I used to work at the airport on a ramp, there were women out there working to do their job. That's not an easy job, but they were doing it. And there are women out there who life has thrown some rough stuff at them, but you know what? They buckle down and they provide for their kids. They buckle down, they provide for their family. Mostly, I go exactly with my friend Anne, who is who lost her husband to a tragedy, which you guys know about the story about it, but in that regard. But she has 2 kids, and she's doing the best she can. She's also an engineer, so she's making good money, and but she's raising 2 kids because her husband died from a tragic accident. Well, he was murdered, but I digress. But she was widowed, and she's holding down the family in that regard. There are people who have, like I said, there are women who are taking care because if the husband passed away or the husband has an illness. Like a couple friends of mine who was really good people. He took care of his wife. He was in the military. He took care of his wife as best as he can. Sadly, last week my mom told me, because I knew them growing up, the wife passed away, and right behind it, the day after that, the husband passed away. So, but she spent the later half of her years taking care of her husband, because in the early part of the years he was taking care of her kid, and also her husband. Sorry, he was taking care of her kid and her when he was in the military. So, and I know many women out there, again, who's smart, intelligent, and who could conduct themselves very, very well. Like I said, one of the women I talked in his space, like I said, I give it to her, Sister Sherazad Ali. She's wise beyond her years, and try to talk about stuff with women and black women, and in that regard, there are other women out there who try to do stuff like that. Pink Book Lessons. If you ever go on YouTube, check out Pink Book Lessons, which I'm going to lose some of her videos there. Very a very smart any-day woman. You have Riva TV. That's another one that I listen to. You have the the sisters. I forgot their name. I apologize, but the sisters. Like I have a reverence for women who have compassion, speak logically, and don't do crazy stuff. That's the way I look at it. But we have to, in that regard, like I said, they're women out there getting their degrees. There are women who are becoming more. There are more CEOs, or there's a lot of entrepreneur women out there who's starting more business and helping people out. But I ain't never seen so much people being attacked as it is now. That's what killed me. And some of the faults are women, and some of the faults are what women let happens to them. Because they want that strong, independent, stature, I should say. And by doing that, sometimes the weakness sneaks in, and it makes you more weaker than you think you're strong. Now, I'll state this up front. Like I said, yes, I want women to get treated equally like men. No ifs, ands about that. We're equals. We're equals in how we should be treated and respected. But what men and women can do are two different things. There's some women that could do what some men could, well, most men could do. Okay? There's some women out there that could do certain things that men could do, except for, biologically. But for those few women who are strong, who could work hard, could do a lot of stuff, there's many more men above them that could do that. There's a lot of women out there who don't want to be out in the cold yard, in the streets, doing stuff like that. Now there are a lot of women that's in corporate, and they get this attitude of thinking that because I'm in corporate, or I'm in a techie job, that because I do that, I'm important. And you are important. Don't get me wrong, you are important. But here's the thing, though. To sustain society, there's not many women in those jobs. There are not many garbage men. There are not many mechanics. There are women that get mechanics, like I said. But there are not women who are mechanics, who do the grunt work. The things that plumbers, carpenters, bricklayers. Are there women in those fields? Yes. Are there a lot of them to sustain society? No. That's a different. So, and I do hear what I was, so I pointed it out again. The first way feminists wanted to do stuff, I get it. I understand what they wanted to do. And they wanted to be that. But I'll say this right now in a way, as you're going to see what I represent to you. A lot of people figure out there are people who are smarter than me, smarter than you, who knows how to work society in a certain way. When companies start seeing that women could do the jobs that men do back in the First World War I and World War II, when ladies were doing all this stuff, they figured out I could get cheaper labor. I gotta hire men. I gotta do this. That's the start of some of this stuff. Now, women should get equal pay as best as they can to what the guy's doing. But I've said this before, and I'll say this again because I'm not gonna, to be honest with y'all. Nobody gets equal pay if you are on a merit-based job. Okay, it just isn't. You got to work at the same time. You have to have the same degree. You have to put in the same work ethics. You got to put in the same, because again, on average, men do more work than women in certain jobs. Women do more. Like again, there are more women nurses out there. There are more women teachers. That they do that more than men. So that's it. But drilling for oil, there might be one, two women, but the rest is guys. Building a truck, again, might be one, two women in there, but it's mostly guys. I want to set this all up because what we're gonna go through here is just to point out that sometimes, again, the worst enemy to women are women. Just like people say the worst enemy to yourself is yourself. It just is. So, and sometimes it just some things just bring certain people down. I think I'm not gonna do that story because of the time, and I'm gonna keep it relevant. Okay. All right. Oops, sorry about that noise. Okay, we got 8,350 people in the building. Thank y'all for joining in. And like I said, so let's go into this. This is why I say you're gonna see a fact here that how women hurt other women. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this story here.
This woman was attacked while simply ordering some chicken, and now she's got an attorney. Their goal is to make the company pay for their horrible employees. You have to hear her story, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Denitra Dawson is taking action 1 year after 3 Popeyes employees attacked her. Denitra placed an order at the drive-thru. They got it wrong, and all she wanted them to do was to make it right. The workers there at the restaurant, they wanted Denitra to pull up because they didn't want their drive-thru service time affected. But Denitra didn't want to pull up. She wanted them to first give her her order and then help the other customers. Now, from Denitra's point of view, she's like, why wouldn't you just fix my order so I can leave?
Get away with a great deal.
Which is something, like I said, customer services have gotten really bad lately with food services, and Pink Book's gonna say something which I agree with in here, and of course my wife will be, she knows it. I mean, the whole of this week, I don't know, but I mean, I know the whole of this week I've been eating food. She did some potato soup. I ate it, enjoyed it. I cooked yesterday some seasoned pork chops. We got some and some seasoned potatoes. Like, yeah. I rather control my cooking more than going out as much. And if I have to go out, me and her try to make the best choices, of course, with how we do foods, and she knows that.
When she was there first, just fix her food, then you can finish fixing everyone else's food. I don't understand how hard was it for them to fix another box of chicken. That sounds like all of 1 or 2 minutes. Give the lady her food and let her go. But no. 3 employees, including a manager, went out to this woman's car, opened her door, and started putting hands on her and pulling her hair, completely ripping out one of her braids, leaving a large landing strip in the middle of this woman's head. And then this polar bear right here, she was the main one. That's Tanista Evans.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What is that?
What the heck is on your eyes? What is that? Seriously, what is that? What the heck is on her eyes? Good grief. It's another thing I've said. I love my wife because she don't gotta put on all this crap on her face because she's naturally beautiful. Thank the Lord. And she got her natural hair, she got everything. That's what I love. This right here, no.
The manager of the restaurant. She's got a history of this type of behavior, several mug shots in Memphis. And even knowing her background, they allowed this woman to be their manager. We're talking about...
What is going on with her? I know it don't look good. I just don't look good. Sorry. Anyway.
Convictions on her record for assault, and now she did this to this woman here.
So wait, she has convictions already. Dang, Popeyes, really? You couldn't find nobody else to fill in? That's how slimming the people is, because a lot of people don't want to work. That's one. And two, as you can see, they'll hire anybody, which is kind of messed up. This is why I say there's a lot more women who are working. But here's the other thing too. There's also a lot of women who also think gets away with stuff because they're women. When women always say, "Oh, when the most disrespected, we're most blah 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 blah," and that's what it comes off. That's what it comes off in my ears. Blah 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 blah. Because I know you get more benefits. You get more, and I mean benefits. I just mean quality that benefits that you're a female than you think. But again, let's keep going.
Nah, this is out of order.
Yes.
Along with Tanista, her daughter, Zaria Evans, and her niece, Tanise Taylor, were also arrested. So you have a family of flamingos arrested. And they were proud of themselves for jumping on this woman and pulling her hair out like that. And these family members that worked at Popeyes just went and jumped on Denitra instead of giving her what she paid for because they wanted her to move out of the line. Which is so crazy. All that energy and time that they wasted trying to get her to move out of a line, they should have put all that energy into correcting her order. But no, that will make too much sense.
Basically.
New at 4, a popular fast food restaurant, chicken restaurant, faces a lawsuit after an alleged attack in the drive-thru involving employees. Now, the suit claims it happened in September of last year at the Popeyes on Cleveland Avenue in Southwest Atlanta. Today, a lawsuit was filed. Fox 5's Tyler Finger is live at that Popeyes with what we're learning. Tyler, that's a very popular restaurant at that.
Yeah, Eric, good afternoon to you. According to this new lawsuit, things turned spicy at the drive-thru at this Southwest Atlanta Popeyes last year after an incorrect order. That's when the victim claimed she was attacked by employees, leaving her bruised and with a chunk of her hair missing.
I didn't even think I was gonna make it back to my kids.
That's the part that killed me. She's out there, which again we'll be talking about that for sure, because again it's all about the food thing.
Loves that chicken from Popeyes after what she describes as a brutal attack in the drive-thru at the hands of restaurant employees.
I simply went to get food for my kids. I still don't understand this, like, why me?
According to a lawsuit filed Friday, Dawson says the fast food frenzy happened last September after a problem with her Popeyes order. She says when she tried to get it fixed, words were exchanged, then something off the menu was served up at the Popeyes on Cleveland Avenue in Southwest Atlanta.
You gotta love the puns that these news reporters do doing. Anyway.
One of the employees physically opens up her passenger side car door, enters her vehicle, jumps into her car, and begins to attack her.
Dawson says 3 employees were involved in the attack. She claims the only way she could get them to stop was by pulling out a gun. She then called Atlanta police. According to an incident report obtained by Fox 5, 2 people were charged with battery, Tanise Taylor and a minor. A third person, identified as Tanista Evans, was charged with misdemeanor obstruction of an officer.
Ripped out.
Good Lord.
The braid out of her hair, all the way down to the root.
It took my identity. I take pride in my hair.
Dawson says the incident left her with not only physical scars, but emotional ones too. She's not only suing the people who allegedly attacked her, but also the company that owns this restaurant. Popeyes sent a statement to me just a short time ago telling me that they have no tolerance for violence like this, and that those 3 employees have already been terminated. We're going to put that full statement on our website, fox5atlanta.com. We're live in Southwest Atlanta. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, Tyler, they are in hot grease tonight. Thanks so much.
This is just so embarrassing. So a year ago when this happened, the family of 3 flamingos got arrested, and obviously Denitra was not satisfied, and rightfully so. She's asking for them to pay her medical bills over $10,000 in addition to damages. Chick-fil-A would never, and that's why they don't want to hire them hood rats at Chick-fil-A with...
That is true. That is true. I cannot deny her what she just said right there. She called it out. Nah, I won't be doing that.
Red, blue, and green hair. These people are obviously bad for business. One thing though, I really wish American culture would go back to preparing more meals at home.
Yep.
Less fast food. It's
Yep.
not good for
For
you
you.
anyway.
Mhm.
You could choose way better ingredients at home,
Yep.
better preparation methods, and it'll taste better too. It's not worth
And in most cases, it's cheaper as well, too.
going to any of these establishments and getting disrespected over high-priced, low-quality food. Make your own chicken at home, which presents another problem. Way too many modern women don't know how to cook. That's why my new campaign is going to be Make America Cook Again.
Go, girl, go. Because she's doing it. But yeah, she's right.
I'm tired of people having to take penitentiary chances or risking their lives just to patronize these restaurants. If it's not the employees, it's the customers you have to deal with.
Yeah.
It's always some hood rat or pookie ready to mess it up for everybody. And the people are so miserable at these places for so many issues. Some working conditions and pay. A lot of these people are bringing in their own personal issues to work. Leave your attitude at home. And then they come to work with all this drama anyway, taking out all their anger on customers while customers have to pay them for their poor service. Nah, make America cook again. Get y'all pots in order and stop setting yourself up. Out here about to get rocked over chicken and french fries. It's really not worth it. And yes, Atlanta has lost a lot of its hospitality. These heathens running around messing up the whole city. So yeah, Popeyes, pay the lady her money. As for this manager, her daughter, and her niece, they're
Now you hear what he said. 3 women did this to another woman. She, her daughter, and her niece. So, how we gonna blame? Like I said, you see how that is? 3 women did some crazy things. That's a problem. She's teaching her, so she has the same energy that her daughter has. That she passed it on to her daughter, and her daughter's out there fighting and doing this nonsense, and the niece is following right beside this. Instead of saying, okay, you know what? All right, let's fix the order. Let's get it past it. I worked in fast food too. Get the order, just pass it down. That's all it is. But no, they have to be disrespectful. They have to go and did this. And this is way beyond disrespectful. You go there and pull the braid out of her hair.
What the fuck?
Not needed. Not needed at all. But it's not, like I said, this is not affecting her. This affects her, her children, and her, like I said, offshoot of a family member, which is her niece. That's crazy. And that's a problem going forward in some of this stuff. Maca, you're correct. You're correct, Trip. Maca, it is. Make America's cook again. Exactly. All right, so let's go on to another topic. All right, before I get into, let's go to another topic. All right. This topic is disturbing. And this is what I want to use. This one is more disturbing than what we just saw. This is crazy. And again, ain't no way. Let me put it this way, parents. Even though this parents did it, you gotta be careful of what your children are listening to and whatever. I made a conversation yesterday. I was talking to a friend of mine, a friend of the show, Anderson, and I said, I'm gonna be due diligent in my kids' life, just because I want to make sure that they have the best they can. My wife, if she's listening, she knows we're not getting none of this smartphone stuff right here. We're going all out. We're getting like I said, I'm tech savvy enough that no internet. I'm gonna block internet, whatever. I'll be out walking with my child, daughter or son. I'll be out there. We would do some outside activities as best as my body could hold up when we get kids. I'm gonna do all that. We're not gonna give her no laptop and not put no TV. I'm not putting no TV in no room. I'm not doing none of this nonsense. I can't do anything about school, like what they will see, but in my home, I will control them to do certain things. That's what's gonna happen. Okay? Now, we're gonna see a disturbing story. Very disturbing story.
They look like young sweethearts just goofing around until this chilling boast.
And I'll say this. I'll say this too. Kids are getting stupider, and they make it just because of all the math thing, and they do all that stuff. You have to be in your schools, like, because the kids are stupider. I've seen more kids now because they want to be. The thing is famous, but they want to be infamous. Look what that thing says: 3 days after murdering somebody. That's what they said. That's what it is in the video. You would record a video like this, S?
Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa! Don't put that on the camera.
They admit to committing a murder.
It was worth it.
The victim, according to prosecutors, the girl's own father, Daniel Halseth.
Put in 25 push-ups, huh? How's that sound?
The dad was a fitness and travel buff who loved to post videos online, including these moments as a doting dad.
There's Sierra.
But he reportedly didn't approve of his 16-year-old daughter Sierra dating 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero. And he wasn't alone. His ex-wife, Elizabeth, a former Nevada Republican state senator, also had a problem with her daughter's relationship. After they banned Sierra from seeing Aaron, Sierra's father disappeared.
He's been missing for 2 days. His work's called, his family's called, I've called, his ex-wife's called, and there's nobody answering the phone. I know there's something very wrong going on here.
There was indeed, as friends found out when they checked in on Halseth's home in Las Vegas that he had been renovating.
There's a dead body in the garage we just found.
Halseth had been stabbed to death and his body set on fire.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What is that?
So, and you're going to see the remorse because they didn't want you to see, for a good reason.
Cops say Sierra Halseth and her boyfriend took off in her dad's car right after the slaying. They
Geniuses. Total geniuses.
were arrested days later, 400 miles away in Salt Lake City after apparently trying to dodge a train fare. Prosecutors say they found that chilling video on the girl's cell phone. It appears to have been taken in a tent.
I mean, look how he's even doing her. Like, what the hell? This dude, I could see they must have saw what it is, and that's why. That dude is like slapping her on her face and holding her and choking her and stuff like he's mentally messed up. And the parents had a right to think that.
While they were on the run.
Look at that.
At one point, Aaron put his hands around Sierra's neck. The two were also caught on security camera buying bleach and other items cops say were used to clean up the crime scene.
Jeez.
I spoke to Dr. Keith Ablow about how such a girl with a seemingly idyllic childhood
There's Sierra.
could end up charged with murdering her own father.
What jumps out at you from the video is the complete lack of empathy. There seems to be a disconnect in which the perpetrator or perpetrators don't even seem to consider what they're doing to be real in a certain way.
Exactly.
And that's why they don't emote in a way that we would consider to be quote unquote normal.
Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa!
The teens haven't entered a plea. If convicted of murder, he could face the death penalty, but she's too young and faces life in prison.
So she's too young, but let's be honest, she's not going to get the full wrath of the prison either. But both of y'all,
You piece of loser.
that, how can you do that to your own family member. That's sickening for a man. Ain't no way. And that's why I said, you can see she didn't care. She didn't care for her father, even though her father raised her, have respect for her, all this stuff, and he was looking out for her. Look at that now. Now you're going to spend the rest of y'all, were y'all even thinking? No, you weren't thinking.
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
You weren't thinking. You took his car thinking that they won't find that out, and then you put that. That's what I said. People are trying to, they're confusing famous for infamous. That's infamy. Now your two dumbasses are in jail. Apparently, the young man, I think, should be, that, because it's even worse. It's not even shooting. It was there. And that's why I said, even though I'm talking in the video, talking about how women, like I said, good and strong, it's weakness and all that stuff, men ain't no different. And that right there is
you piece of loser.
That's a dude that like I say, he is. I don't defend him no matter what to ever do something that heinous to somebody. Because again, it's not like a gunshot. It was a night they stabbed. So it's personal. You went and stabbed somebody 14 times. You're despicable, man. Despicable. And for you to let that dude do that to your father, oh my goodness. And you have no remorse in the video? You're sick in your head, lady. That's psycho. That is psycho that you do that. Okay? Crazy. So, I want to get into these back-to-back stories. Okay? Let me just take this one off. I don't know if I'll get to pull this one off because that takes a little longer. But I'll give the summation of this video here, which I was going to do. This is a woman who has 10 kids and pregnant with her 11th kid. The judge is trying to tell her to take her meds or whatever. She is crying and saying, but I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. But the reason she don't take her meds because every other year she's pregnant. And the thing about it is, she's doing bad things as well too. She's in criminal court. But here's the thing. This is why I say it's the weakest, because women are getting away with more stuff than they should. They say, oh, but this, nah. You're getting away with crimes. You should not be getting away with these crimes. That's the whole point. Being a female, you have this thought that, not thought, but the society has thought, okay, we should be easier on females, including if they're a mother. But here's a statistic that a lot of people don't. You know who kills more kids in America? Women. Now, it's approximately because they're the bearers, and all custody goes to the women in child cases and everything. But women kill more kids than men. And it's a weird house with everything with like child services and everything like that. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. She can't take care of none of the kids. But she gets, but she ain't working. But she could get food stamps, all that stuff. She only taking care of 3 of the kids, not 10. And then she got 11. She got 11 one coming up now. Like I said, pregnant woman now with 10 kids in court with the same judge for 7 years. The judge is a black woman. The judge.
I did my part by getting in the class, but it was just the way she was just talking to me and treating me like some days I might miss my classes, but then I still pay and I still take my classes. Like, I have children that's not in my custody, so I don't have control of when I have to do my visitation. I don't. But what I'm trying to say is that I came up with a plan, and I'm working on it now. And the plan is, Your Honor, is for me to enroll into another program.
And the reason she's saying her to put another program, the last program, she attacked the social worker and cussed them out. And trying to say, oh, it's because she can't take responsibility. Like I said, that's the judge. So it's not a white man judging her and putting her in these things. It's a black woman that's telling her, you need to stop this nonsense. But she don't want to listen. Okay? So I might do this. I'll do this as another part, maybe Straight No Chasers. And I'm going to start to get back into those. I know I've been seeing some emails and stuff that people saying, I need to get back into Straight No Chasers. I got you. Don't worry, I will do that. But anyway, let's get on to the other topics we're going to talk about right now. So, I want to do this one right here. People talk about, if you've been watching my show, a lot of people, again, I'll state this up front. Culture is down to politics. It's downriver from politics. Now, I attack the Democrats a lot. Why? Because they've done horrible things for decades, not centuries. I'm sorry. I call it as it is. For centuries, they've done horrible stuff. And are the Democrats now any different than what they were back in? No, they don't. But I'll tell you this. Republicans ain't no different either. Okay? They're not. You got some that I would like, whatever. But there's a lot of them that I would not. Andy Barr, who was in North Carolina, he was
You piece of loser.
For how he set up to get money from the COVID relief and everything. And of course, they voted him out. I'm happy that I'm in North Carolina. We voted him out. But he was also a piece of crap person. Mitch McConnell, he needs to take his butt to go sleep and relax. For you know, you see this out. Mitch McConnell couldn't speak, lost it, whatever. Nancy Pelosi can't speak most of the time. She should not be the speaker. Dianne Feinstein fall down. She is 92 years old. She should not be a senator. She fell down, so somebody is taking over for her. And she had spies in her camp spying on America from China. And she couldn't figure that out. But she should have never, and she was going to run for senator again when she was 96 years old, because there's a 6-year term for senators. Sorry, we need a term limit for this crap. Okay? We need a term limit for this nonsense. 2 term limits. If the United States president has 2 term limits, we say 2 term limits. 2 term limits for Congress. I know it's every 2 years. I don't care. And 2 term limits for senators. After then, get the hell out. It will stop most of the problems. Will it stop all the problems? No. But it will stop most of the problems. So this story right here is taken out in Texas. But this has a little bit of a story going over in France. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's watch this.
By allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
Exactly.
Good afternoon. I want to inform you about this information I've come across, and it might be a good discussion topic for your podcast.
New proposal bill will protect Tennessee's parents from paternity fraud. That's a good thing. And I hope that this passes. But we'll see how that works out. But you're going to see the opposition right now, and that's why I said it make no difference if Democrat or Republican. I'll call out more evils for the Democrats is because they blatantly say it in front of people, and a lot of Democrats I'm talking about Democrat politicians. A lot of Democrats just blindly just like. But again, Republicans do the same thing too. That's my point. I am a libertarian, and again, even my party has some problems, and I admit to my problems, but I'm not. At least I'm not entrenched in the nonsense, but here we go.
New proposed bill will protect Tennessee's parents from paternity fraud. Opinion. Representative Antonio Parkinson's proposed bill will ensure that the actual biological father is listed on the birth certificate of the child. This is pure gold.
It needs to be. It needs to be done. The paternity fraud is crazy, and it needs to be done.
That would prevent unmarried men from claiming a child that isn't biologically their own is making its way through the Tennessee legislature. Action News 5's Bria Bolden spoke with the local lawmaker behind this bill to find out why he believes the law is needed. Bria?
Well, Joe, House Bill 2698 passed through the Children and Family Affairs Subcommittee today now, but it didn't come without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services. Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring the House version of this bill, and he told me today he has spoken with constituents who said they have had to foot the bill for child support even after finding out a child they originally thought was theirs was not.
He presented the magistrate with the DNA findings. The magistrate said, somebody got to take care of him, referring to the child, and it's going to be you, and gavelled him out.
See how messed up that is? It's going to be you. That ain't my kid. That's not my kid.
This is the full story Representative Antonio Parkinson is talking about. Let's read. Recently, I was approached by a young man who told me he had been in a long-term relationship. Together, they had a son, and he signed a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. They were not married. 5 years later, he found out the mother had been unfaithful during the time they were together. He and the child took a DNA test. The results proved that he was not the father. Subsequently, the relationship ended. The woman then sued him for child support. In juvenile court, he presented the DNA evidence to the magistrate and was basically told, and I quote, "Somebody's got to feed him and it will be you," end quote. He was ordered to pay child support and found in arrears. Eventually, his license was suspended and he was pulled over and jailed for driving on a suspended license.
See how crazy that is? How that messed up his life? Even though he tried to do the right thing and everything? The consequences. That's the power that women have. Evil women. Not good women. I'm going to call it out. Evil women have the power to do that. That's crazy that happened.
The key to this foolishness is exactly what the magistrate said. Somebody's got to feed him and it will be you. Stay focused, guys.
That's how blatant it is gotten in the courts doing that. And you know why the courts doing that? Because they get money from this. That's why.
Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring House Bill 2698 that would require DNA evidence proving paternity before a man signs a birth certificate for a child that may not be biologically his.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
Paternity fraud is a crime, and it should be punished. Please watch and share our video called "This is Why Women Don't Want Paternity Fraud to Be Criminalized and Paternity Testing Mandatory." In that video, we go deep into why paternity fraud is a crime and why non-biological fathers should be exempt from paying child support. And it's fine to hear how many fathers are actually not, that 1/3 of the signatures on birth certificates from unmarried couples do not reflect the biological father's name. 1/3 is based on the men that actually get a DNA test.
So that doesn't work. And also, and that's unmarried men as well too. Remember, I shared a story last week where a guy from Jamaica was married, had 6 kids. He was married and found out all 6 kids was not his children. All 6. Now, what he did after the fact, I do not condone. I am against violence. I do not condone this. But my point was, he walked away and tried to make it nice. But the ex-wife made it very, very difficult. And doesn't deserve it at all. But I'll leave it there because, this is YouTube. I'm on YouTube and certain platforms now that I'm on higher radio. I can't say certain things, so I'll get that. But you could, again, go back to that video, go back to that show, and you'll see what happened. But that's crazy. So, that, again, 1/3 of men who are not married are not the fathers. That's not married. So you got two. You have to worry about this. That also include that, but that doesn't include men who never got tested, because there are a lot of men out there who never tested and don't know that their kid's not theirs. And also, it doesn't mean that they are married. It could be married men as well too, and they still don't know that and find out that their kids are not theirs still.
If DNA testing is mandatory, I truly believe this number goes up. But at the same time, it could have a reverse effect because women know exactly who they give access to the punani because they are the gatekeepers of sex. 1/3 is not the biological father. Bunch of low-quality gatekeepers, the foolishness.
However, the Tennessee Department of Human Services said
This is what I'm talking about, and that place is mostly Republican. So here we go.
as if made into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
See that? It's all about the money. That's all it is. People always say follow the money to find the problems. That's what it is. That's why the Republicans didn't want to stop it, because it's all about the money. It's all about the money. We're going to lose 52. So instead of being right and morally correct and helping fathers and doing the right thing so we could establish this, because if you do this, then other people won't do all the heinous acts like this. They know that there are consequences. They will have better families. But no, it's all about the money.
I guess the concerns that we have is that the bill would possibly put us out of compliance with the federal regulations.
After speaking with attorneys from the U.S.
And remember, that's the federal regulations, so you know how it is. So the feds also want to make sure that we give you money and whatever, but we don't, and stuff like that. The judges also get a kickback from this. I've done stories on this channel about this, on my show about this. The judges get a kickback, so that's why they could go and tell this man, yeah, someone gonna take care of the kid, and it's you, even though it's not that. I've seen the judges been straight out nasty to parents, to fathers who did not do no wrong. Now, again, this doesn't excuse that. They don't tell me. I'm not saying all fathers are a problem and all fathers are saints. No, there are horrible, despicable men out there who are fathers. But that's why I always have my thing of evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, sex, gender. That's the whole point. Parents, children, evil.
Department of Human
It's
Services,
evil.
Representative Parkinson says the bill would not affect the money the state receives.
Like I always say, follow the money. It's not just women that benefit from these laws. It's businesses, it's corporations, and the states themselves.
Correct.
Check this out.
The passing of the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, or the OBRA, occurred in 1993. And according to the Office of Inspector General, and this is in 1997, that act amends the Child Support Title 4D of the Social Security Act, and it requires states to implement hospital-based programs for voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. That's where that was the game changer. That changed the birth certificate, making a difference on whether you are the father or whether you were there to sign it or not. That changed the whole game. The purpose was to...
Yeah, I'm gonna let her talk, because there are fathers out there who are fathers who never signed the paper. Excuse me, either. I did a story a couple months ago now that was up in Detroit. Remember, the father was married. He was married, and this woman had put this guy. He's not a father. She just put this random guy on the birth certificate, and they went out to the school, embarrassed him, said that he have child, whatever. He got a DNA test. He fought it, and thank God he won that case. But he didn't know the woman. He didn't even know the woman, and she put him as And did she get punished for that? No. That's, again, tonight's show is about they're the strongest and the weakest. That's the power that some people use the evilness of their power to do.
To facilitate at birth paternity for children of unmarried parents. Now this is code. Now you know that the child support system is a welfare recovery program. So this was all designed to get put parents on child support immediately from the birth of your child when you're unmarried. This is a design that they had set up.
And that's why shout outs, again, I brought this story up as well too. Sorry, Marco Rubio, again, a Republican. So there you go. Sorry, Marco Rubio, you are...
You piece of loser.
Talking about a father should pay child support while the child have not even been born. Oh, hell no. No. I'm against that. Because, again, wait, I should pay 9 months and then find out that child is not mine? No. Now, it would be all easy and all good if people could just keep their as you'll be Jamaican, pananis to themselves and the pennies to themselves. And wait until I'm married. I myself, I'm not going to say I'm a saint. I am not a saint. But I have never had unprotected sex with anyone until I got married. Because I wanted to be there. Now, abstinence is the best way. That's the best way to get from stuff. Abstinence. But I also understand how the reality of the world is. That's why I tell young men, wrap it up. And get rid of it as well, too. But I also know that having my seed do something to other people who not the right way could get me some serious problems. So again, Marco Rubio, F off. Get the French toast out of here because I'm not with that. Because you should get child support even on, again, because again, you see that in some states, some women could put guys on child support without even knowing them, without even meeting them. That's crazy.
So the state child support agencies must make voluntary acknowledgement outreach materials available to new parents. So they had outreach that come in and talk to you, all that kind of stuff. The child support agencies must monitor birthing hospital compliance at least manually. So they gotta make sure all these hospitals that are delivering the babies are making sure they're in compliance to say, we got all these new babies. We are making sure we give them the information they need to acknowledge paternity. The Bill Clinton's bill expanded the role of the hospital staff, requiring them to provide outreach information about paternity acknowledgement. So now the hospital staff, not only do they have to deliver babies and do all that stuff that the excellent staff at hospitals and the nurses and all that, they have to do another job, and that's get parents to sign this form.
Come back and get...
Which is, to me, is kind of crazy that's the situation. They're forcing this. But again, it's all about money.
To the women that are fighting for men's rights. We don't hate women. We just despise the foolishness. We have to generalize when we discuss these topics. And if it doesn't apply, let it slide. This system is crooked. Yep. They know that they will have to pay for these children if men don't pick up the slack. That's why these judges have incentives to put non-biological fathers on child support.
Yep.
Give men in general longer prison sentences. And they are rewarded for doing so. Let's read. The Tennessee Department of Human Services, who oversees the child support program, is fighting vigorously to kill the bill. Why? Because the department fears any changes in their enforcement rules could possibly jeopardize the $52 million in funding it receives from the federal government for its child support enforcement programs. In addition, DHS could also potentially receive millions for reaching a quota of 90% acknowledged births, with yet another bonus out there for exceeding the quota. You see, that's why men struggle to get these laws to change, because there are bigger and stronger forces that make sure these laws stay in place.
Yep.
Now check this out. This House bill was introduced on February 2nd, 2022. How long it takes for a bill to become a law in the US can be all over the place. There are many factors at play, like how complicated the bill is, how much support it gets, the political mood, and what else is on the Congress's to-do list. It's like a roller coaster ride with twists and turns before it finally becomes law. Fellas, these laws are not gonna change anytime soon. That's why it's up to you to protect yourself at all times.
Yep.
Prevention is better than cure.
Yep, that is true. Prevention is better than cure, and that is true. And again, to talk about some of the crazy stuff, because we're going to get into one more thing here, and then I'll hopefully my wife can stay up, baby, because I got one I know you would want to talk about, to see, because I see her in the YouTube chat. So yeah, but I want to say this, because again, look how crazy this is. Remember, Rose McGowan, outed Harvey Weinstein. But here's the thing, though, she know what Harvey Weinstein did. A lot of people know what Harvey Weinstein did. But none of these women wanted to talk to him, even though they were hurting other women, until they wanted to get what they wanted of it. That's what it was. That's why he said, you're strong, but you're weak because you're going to get roles, but you know that he's doing. I cannot let somebody else do something horrible to somebody else just so I could just get money. I just can't. That's not me. That's not in me. Thank God I have morals. My grandma and my mom put those morals into me and keep me going, because it's just nasty. So here's a part of this. I'm gonna skip a couple of things because it's French. There's the French court there though, but in France they did this, and this is the other part of this. This is the other part of this, and this, like I say, it's more reading of this. France has gone bat-ass crazy. The president of France is a weirdo. That's straight up. He's a nut job weirdo. He married his third grade teacher. They have a big. Whatever. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. I just want to see. Okay, I know it's. Hold on. She's age 70. He's 45. He was his third grade teacher. And she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Literally. But anyway, let's get into this though. That was talking about with the France thing.
Perpétuel planant sur la vie quotidienne de leurs enfants.
Apparently, in France, it is illegal to get a paternity test outside of a court-sanctioned one, because France is so worried about the repercussions to the family structure if you get a paternity test. They think so many people are f***ing around on each other that it would ruin the institution of marriage. So, which brings me to my question of the day. In the United States, ethically, do you think paternity tests should be mandatory? And if they aren't, should paternity fraud be against the law?
AG1 is so
I
much
think it should. Paternity fraud is against the law, but we know how that works. Like I stated.
France, highlighting that half of single-parent households are not receiving the appropriate level of child support. Of course, we are shown an image of a woman because women.
And here's the funny part of half of women in France, that's half of women in France are having this problem. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that shows you if 1/3 is in America for those who do get tested, and so it's half in America in France.
Are running the majority of single-parent households. In 2021, France launched,
and this ain't black people, so there you go. It's French white people. This ain't black people, so it ain't a black thing.
A government service that will take child support payments directly out of parents' bank accounts if they don't pay them.
What? So you're gonna take the money out of my account if I don't pay him. If I say that's not my child, you gonna still do that? Nah.
Under the new system, any mother or father can request the new government service, regardless of whether the other parent disagrees. Once in place, the service handles the payment of the money until the child is 18. What if the other parent has valid reasons to object? What if the other parent has substantial evidence to support his objections? In France, there's an anti-paternity testing law that imposes penalties on men who use paternity tests to determine their biological relationship to a child. Ironically, in France, DNA testing is also used to solve criminal cases. Herein lies the complexity of the paradox. Let's chant. Now it's time.
5 male students and 31 male teachers at this private Catholic high school are being asked to give a DNA sample. The school's director says it's the last chance to find out who raped a 16-year-old girl in a dark school toilet here last September.
I don't know why this took so long, but it's not right. The person who did it may have been at the school for the last 7 months. It's horrible.
Police say genetic material recovered from the girl's clothing did not match any profiles in the national DNA database. 21 males who were at the school on the day of the attack have been asked for a saliva sample, as well as teachers and pupils. The local prosecutor says people refusing to take part will become, quote, potential suspects who could be taken into custody. That's angered some in the legal system, but pupils here welcomed the testing.
Everyone's taking part without any problems because we feel solidarity with the girl who was raped, and we all want to find the perpetrator.
In criminal investigations, DNA testing has become an indispensable tool. It has helped solve countless cases, bringing perpetrators to justice, but also cleared suspects from wrongful accusations, thereby safeguarding the principles of fairness and accuracy in the legal system. From what you've just seen in the clip, men are easily willing to collaborate with the authorities in order to identify the perpetrator. There are a few reasons behind this willingness. First off, because of how awful the incident is. Then there is that burning need for justice. And let's not forget, they've got nothing to hide. It's guilty until proven innocent. However, it's this.
Not in France, it is, but again, it's guilt. Well, you're no right. It's guilty until proven innocent. Yeah, you're correct. That I forgot. It's over in America. It's innocent until proven guilty. You're correct. Sorry.
Part of this clip that I want you guys to keep in mind.
The local prosecutor says people refusing to take part will become, quote, potential suspects who could be taken into custody.
Doesn't that sound logical? If a man declines to cooperate with a procedure, like DNA testing in this instance, which can accurately identify matches, he automatically becomes a suspect. This idea is something most people would probably agree with. Like I always say, focus on the information that's consistent. 1. DNA testing is highly accurate. Number 2, DNA testing results can either convict suspects or exonerate them from false accusations. Number 3, opting out of DNA testing puts you under the radar as a potential suspect.
Hey Dad, I got an A in my book report.
Which is something that people need to understand how that works. But we can't use it in that regard because the ban on paternity testing in France.
Next, fill out the sample envelopes. Then, to collect a DNA sample, just rub the swab inside your cheek for about 15 to 20 seconds. Finally, put the paperwork and samples into the postage-paid envelope and then drop it in any mailbox. That's it.
However, the paradox becomes evident when we shift our focus to paternity testing in France. In a contradictory move, while DNA is employed to catch criminals, it's illegal to use DNA testing to establish biological parentage in some contexts. Let's read. This is from the French site called Le Guichet du Savoir, which means the knowledge desk.
On the issue of genetic testing,
The bioethics law lays down major principles regarding the carrying out of examinations of people's genetic characteristics. Genetic examination can only be carried out for medical, legal or scientific research purposes, and only in authorized laboratories. Outside this framework, obtaining a DNA test remains illegal in France and punishable by a fine of €3,700. The Criminal Code also provides for a 1-year prison sentence or a fine of €15,000 for seeking the identification of a person by their genetic fingerprints outside the cases provided for by law.
That is crazy. So you see how that works. You see how that works. This is why I said again the paradox of strongest and weakest. So we could help save this. You found who did this horrible crime to this woman. I got that. I'm for women. Let's do that. But then we can't do this if we're gonna hurt the woman if she's doing something immoral. That's kind of crazy to me.
What?
Exactly. But again, that's what's going on with this. That's what we're trying to show you, this and this. Now I'm going to get into this last two topics and get it out of here. So this one right here, I have to get this. Women, again, it's up to y'all to stand up to some of this stuff. It is weird to me that women are co-signing this nonsense. Now there's another clip I wish I had and I don't have it, but I'll explain it quickly and then get into this video here, because this is again, women, y'all hurting yourselves. In this one, there's a clip. I let my wife listen to it. There's a clip of a woman who got raped by a man, but because the man pretended to be a woman, because he's not even trying to do the whole trans whatever, pretend to be a woman. Another woman on the thing says, because she said, yes, this man assaulted me. I went to the cops, blah, blah, blah. She said, no, you can't do that. You can't do it. And this woman was arguing with the woman who got raped by this man. What the hell is crazy about that? And right now, here's the problem. This right now is starting to become more than normal, what you're going to see right now. Let's talk about it. Trans women are getting really disrespectful towards women. They are. Check this out.
Trans Chuchi is the inferior product? I'm sorry.
And here the stupidity in this. This is what I said. Men are stupid too.
People are really out here saying that trans Chuchi is the inferior product? I'm sorry. We have the designer, expensive, bougie coochie. Like, you're telling me if someone says, would you like this free paper bag that came with my groceries? Or would you like this $35,000 bag? You're taking the designer Birkin, babe. Like,
this is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out. The audacity.
I got a question for you, ma'am. Because you just said something that's really ridiculous. And I don't know what's going on with my sound clips right now, which is kind of irking me a little bit. But I'll just do this for a second. Let me see. She said, he said this. This is crazy. I got a question for you. You are the designer. Let me play that again, because this is ridiculous. Let me play that again. Sorry. I got that. Let's hear that. Let's hear that nonsense again.
expensive, bougie. Are really out here saying that trans Chuchi is the inferior product? I'm sorry. We have the designer, expensive, bougie coochie. Like, you're telling me if someone says, would you like this free paper bag that came with my groceries? Or would you like this $35,000 bag? You're taking the designer Birkin, babe. Like,
holy Jesus. What is that?
No, sir. I'm taking the best one, which is God made. God made the Chi-Chi, and I'm going with God made. The man-made one, nowhere close. Nowhere close. And I'm going with God. The God-made one is the best designer one. That's the Perkins. What you got is the most inferior one. The audacity of some of these people. That is crazy.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out. The audacity and just...
There's no such thing as transphobia again. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to take back for any platform. There's no such thing as that crap. Because again, nobody has an irrational fear. I could be around a trans person as long as they don't hit me or do, like I said, no violence, because I'm not for violence again. But nobody has an irrational fear of them. I don't. Nobody does. If I bring a spider beside my sister, she'll cower, crack, she'll run into, she'll be scared. That's a different story. That, no. It's not transphobia, okay?
Just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods.
No, they ain't own it. That's just what they are. That's what it is. They ain't own it. It is. It's not own. It is.
That they own womanhood.
Because they do.
You don't.
Yes, they do.
Okay, you don't own periods. You don't own womanhood.
Yes, they do.
You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman...
No, they ain't. They're different. There are a few women out here maybe that don't have menstrual cycles, but majority of them go through this. And you know who don't go through this? Ever? Men. Ever. Sorry.
Woman, it doesn't belong to you.
I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I am tired of
And this is the part that kills me. This is a real woman saying this nonsense.
TERFs making a mockery of real women. Oh, what? You were born with ovaries? You bleed every month? You have XX chromosomes? Yeah, that's cute. Tell me what other external factor that doesn't apply to all of you defines you.
We could birth babies. Again, the plumbing is different. Again, you could get breasts and breastfeed. Men can't. There's many things that's different, crazy lady. And the thing about it, they're passing all this on to the kids.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you're out here thinking that trans women are making a mockery of you when it's the exact opposite. You are pretending that you are a woman when the only people here who know that for sure are the ones who have put in the work to understand themselves.
Are you stupid? No, you're a special type of stupid. And this is a woman saying this to that. This is what I said. You're hurting your own self. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Why do y'all do this?
I don't even want to say nothing.
Like, help me understand why the word cisgender pisses y'all off so.
Because it's a made up term. There's women and there's men. God made woman and man. Okay? That's all it is.
Much. Sure. I'll let you know. For the same reason when someone wants to identify as she, her, them, they, we, us, ours, their boundaries are respected, we're asking for the same thing.
Exactly.
You know, I wasn't even going to address this topic, but things are starting to get out of hand. Some trans women are starting to get real disrespectful towards women, and it needs to stop. And while things seem to have heated up because of Jess Hilarious's comments, that's not where it started, because the disrespect started way before that. Okay, so y'all ready for this conversation? Let's go.
Listen.
That is crazy how the people are doing this.
Chest feeder, birthing person, menstruator, baby carrier, cis. I feel like some trans women have gotten too comfortable disrespecting women. These terms may seem very harmless to those in the trans community, but biological women have been telling them for years now that they're very offensive and diminishing to them. And despite them saying these things, it's like it doesn't stop. It's like some trans women will double down on these terms.
I can't stand it. I never liked it, and I've expressed this numerous times. I am not the only one. A lot of women do not like being called cisgendered woman, okay? For the most part, I've been extremely respectful to trans women, and a lot of people have gave me flack for this, okay? They're always like, oh, how could you be respectful to them? They're dragging black women. They're dragging women as a whole. They're invading womanhood, and you're still respectful to them. How can you call them woman? And I'm like, listen, everybody has a right to be called whatever it is that they want to be called. If they want to be called women, if they're going through all of this to be called women, I'm just gonna call them women. I'm not gonna sit here and fight them. But at the same time, it's getting to a point where like a lot of y'all are getting extremely disrespectful. You feel me? Like a lot of y'all get into a point where it's like it's getting really hard to respect some of you.
I've seen
Exactly, because y'all let this happen.
Trans women on TikTok, on social media, on interviews saying, you know what, women just need to get over it. No, you don't just get over it. There's a respect level that is being breached. What makes it worse is that these are some of the same people who are quick to cancel people for misgendering them. Let me tell you something. Respect is a two-way street.
Yep.
On my channel, for example, I've said that I will not misgender anyone. Out of respect for folks who say, this is how I identify, I will respect that. I've gotten a lot of flack for that. On that video, there are people who said, I wish you had said that at the beginning so I could not watch your video, or folks who unsubscribed because I said that, or people who downvoted my video because I said I don't want to misgender anybody. I take it very seriously to show people the same level of civility I expect for them to show me. So when folks told me, oh, I'm unsubscribing, I'm leaving, I'm not watching your channel anymore, I said, well, there's the door. And in that same vein, I expect trans people to feel the same way when people say, listen, I don't want you referring to me as a chest feeder, a menstruator, or any of that foolishness that women have said they're not comfortable with. So it bothers me to hear some trans women still doubling down on calling people birthers and chest feeders and menstruators. Where's the respect level there?
Let me say this. I don't have a problem with the trans community at all, but this is getting ridiculous. If you say as a trans woman, you want to be called her, she, whatever you decide, even though you are a trans woman, if you want to be called her, she, fine, I'm going to respect that, and I'm gonna do that. So me as a woman, if I say don't call me a cis woman, I'm just a woman. You should respect that. I'm not no birthing person. I'm not a chest feeder. I'm not a bleeder. I'm a woman.
Over the past 3 to 5 years, and just keeping my eye on social media because everybody is so open and sharing things on social media, I've noticed that there's been some fostering of competition between trans women and biological women. I've heard some trans women saying, oh, y'all cis women are mad because we got designer kitties. What?
You ain't got a designer kitty, you got the inferior thing. For a man, I could tell you, you got the inferior thing.
They're accusing women of being insecure because they'll take their man. What?
Yeah, there's some trans women, not all, who likes to trick and mess with men. And I said it again. Here's the dumb part about it. Start thinking, you stupid people. Stop trying. Like I said, you want to be a trans woman, go right ahead. Like they said, I don't care, do you, whatever. But the two things I always say, and I will stand by this 10 toes down. I don't care about this nonsense. If you stop doing this to the damn kids, if they want to get, when they get to 18 and they want to do all this nonsense, let them do it. No problem. And the designer coochie, okay, designer coochie, you say, right? Let me show this, because this, you know, shout out to my boy Trip who was in the chat. He talked about it. Let's look at the designer coochie part. Because I don't think a lot of people is doing this for the designer coochie in life. All right, let me go full screen on this on my end. Designer coochie, okay. Let me see if I could get it to. There you go. 18-year-old boy died after doctor tried to create a vagina from part of his colon. So your designer coochie is from a colon? That's what I'm getting? Crazy. And also, you want to be a woman and you do the design or whatever, because again, I will respect Blair White. Blair White is a trans woman. If I see Blair White on the street, right, including even the lady who's going to see, if I see you on the street, I'm going to call you she. If you have a female name, I'll call your name. I will do that. I have no problem with that because I see what it is, and that's what we'll see. You'll get to that point. I see what I see. Here's the thing, though. Guys with wigs, no, that's not a trans woman, and you're not trying to pretend you're a woman. You're just trying to play crazy. But here's the thing. It's funny. You want to talk about how I'm a man and all this stuff, and being a woman or whatever. But then when a person try to date you because you guys try to play, I'm gonna take your man, you find out quickly that doing that gets you killed. Okay, stop playing around with people like that. Again, I talked about this story multiple times in Virginia of the football player who a trans woman tried, was playing whatever, and tried to date this guy. Didn't tell the guy. Didn't. And again, I am against this iHeart and YouTube and all this stuff. I'm against violence, and I am against that this crime happened, that he killed this guy pretending to be a woman. I'm against it. And he's basically, the jury let him out. But stop messing with people. Again, if you don't want to get bitten by a shark, don't go in the ocean. Point blank, period. Some of y'all are going into the ocean and churning up blood around you and think, oh, sharks ain't going to do nothing. Are you crazy? Let's continue.
It's plenty of man to go around for everybody. If those men want to date you, that's on them. Just recently, with this Just Hilarious video where she was talking and she was responding to a TikToker who was talking about women need to stop trying to be the gatekeepers to menstruation, to periods. And I'm like,
how are you going to be the gatekeepers because they're the only ones who could do it? That don't make no lick of sense, man. Not surprising. And again, if I saw this woman walking down the thing, I'll say woman. But if I saw this woman walking down the road, would I say that's a male underneath there? No, I would not. I'll respect the terms and see what it is at that point. But to the point where I'm going to talk to her and then find out that she has a penis instead of vagina, I got a problem with that.
First of all, when you talk about someone who is gatekeeping, that usually says that there's a potential for access for everyone, and I'm trying to deny you that access. There is no potential for someone who does not menstruate to menstruate.
Exactly.
Someone who is not designed to menstruate. So there's no gatekeeping there. But anyway, Just Hilarious got really fed up. I guess she's been seeing the tone and tenor of what's been going on in the community for a number of years, and she responded. Now, I agreed with some of the things she said. I think where I kind of just stepped back was when she started saying, these people have a mental illness or something to that effect. I'm not supporting that, because a lot of things that we now regard as the norm were regarded as mental illness back in the day. So I'm not even going to that extent.
And that's why I differ with you a little bit. I get what you're saying, Bahamian girl, but I'll disagree with you on that, because there's a lot of people who leans on that. Like again, the guy who got beat up in California when he was there robbing the store. He's like, oh, I have a mental. No, y'all crazy.
I think it's just incredibly stupid, to be honest with you, to hear folks talking about women gatekeeping periods. Let me just say something, because y'all around here glamorizing periods. Y'all glamorizing periods like, oh, I got my period. It's just, as someone who has periods and had 2 last month, I could give one of y'all one of my periods. I can tell you ain't no walk in the park between the bloating.
I can tell you this for my wife and for my sister. I can tell you this. That's why I say it's sort of weird how guys are trying to say they could do this. But anyway.
The painful cramps, the tender boobs, the throwing up for some people, the nausea for some people, me. The bathroom action, the toilet bowl action, every minute you gotta be running to the bathroom. not just to change yourself, but, you know, number two, let me be real with y'all. This ain't no glamorous thing. This ain't no, if some of y'all want my period, I could give that to y'all. Okay, because this is not glamorous. And I suspect that if some people who don't have a period had a period, they'd be throwing that right back to us. Like, no, y'all go right ahead. Y'all could gatekeep it. Y'all could keep it. I applaud people like Flame Monroe, and Flame was getting flamed by some people in the community. Angelica Ross herself, just disrespecting Flame and talking about her career and how she has internalized transphobia, always these things. I said people don't have minds of their own.
Nope.
What if people just see things for what they are? They see things for what they are. Flame has a mother. Angelica has a mother. You think their mothers would be okay with someone just calling them a birthing person? They're a woman. I always say live and let live. You want to live your life however you want to live it. You're transitioning, that's fine. Or you've transitioned, that's fine. But do not down people. Do not negate their experiences. Don't refer to them as things they don't want to be referred to when they're showing you respect. I know so many women, and black women particularly, who have shown respect to women, trans women in the community, and will defend them and stand up for them. And it's happened so many times. But when it's our turn, it's like, oh, you on your own? Come on now. Anyway, I see this path that we're on, and it is so scary. And I hope that people will just come to their senses. I really do, because there's no competition. There's no competition. I don't feel the need to compete with any trans people. And let me also say this, because a lot of times we will watch videos on TikTok and we'll ascribe what we see on TikTok to the world, as if all trans people feel this way. And it's not so. It is not so. I have said, and I maintain, that the majority of trans people who I interact with, who I see, who work and live in my community, they ain't about this drama.
And I've said this before, I'll talk about gay people as well too. It's a small minority that the damn media puts up there, because not many trans women who does this. Not actually trans men who does this either. Funny enough, think about it. There's not many trans women who really fight this, not to come out and say, oh, it's great to be a trans man and all that stuff, because they found out, one, men have a little tougher life than they thought, and two, nobody cares for men that much, because a lot of those women who transfer to men, they kill themselves in a different way. And it's crazy, because they thought it was what it's going to be. But just with the gay people too, I know people who are gay, and they don't force it in your face like these small fringe numbers. It's funny. It's 1% in the population, but the smallest but the smaller of that 1% is the one in the most freaking loud. It's like they got a mic all over the world.
Ain't none of them around here talking about taking nobody man and having designer kitty and all this stuff. Like, they just living their lives. So let's also be careful when we're having these conversations to not think that is all trans people. And let's stop calling people these derogatory terms, but TERF and all this foolishness, just because they want to make a distinction. If you are secure in who you are and what you are, that's all that matters. So let's just stop this stupid competition, and let's just stop these demeaning statements that are coming from both sides. But I'm talking about trans women in this video, so let's just stop it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop comments down below.
Yep. And I agree with her on that that call. That part right there. Like, this is just ridiculous. We should not be doing this. But again, I'm just pointing out that, again, you could be the strongest and the weakest at the same time. Who hurts women more? Most of the time is women who hurt women with this nonsense here. And y'all want to be strong, independent women. Y'all want to get the attitudes. I'm talking about all colors, make no difference. But now most guys have seen it. I'm smart enough. Like, oh, you want to be strong? Okay. You want to lift up the boxes? No problem. You want to no problem. Oh, you should help me. I should do what now? You say you're strong, independent. Or you an a-hole. I'm respecting your wishes, my dear. Point taken. Last video of the night. Let's jump into that one. I see. Like I said, we up to 17,000. Thank you. That's all platforms. Again, thank you guys up there. Just looking in the chat. Connor Kareem from London I agree with a lot that you said. It's bad how people try to. Okay, let me say. I made a mistake. I agree with what you said, and I also disagree with what the woman was saying. Why we should not say it's a mental illness? If generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive order are mental illness, then gender dysphoria should be classified as that too. I see that. Valen Soriki from Germany. Calling someone a birth person or referring to women as nothing but sums up her parts is wildly misandrous, and is saying this is I'm going to steal your man is BS. But funny how these are the same people who will talk about they're not there for the LGBTQ all this stuff, and they don't respect the LGBTQ stuff. Yep, you're right. And these are all women right now. Jenny Toodles from Jamaica, New York. So let me get this straight. Transgender women don't like when people call them something that they don't want to be called. Yet they insist calling women something that they can't be. This is sheer narcissism. Correct. Straight up correct. Abigail Devrain from France. Great show talking about the crazies in France, and also talk about how the people right now are striking and gas is still going up. Macron is a horrible president, but also to what we are talking about right now, comparing body parts to items is a crazy and delusional. That makes it more crazy that women, that's all we women are for, just body parts and stuff. That is so disrespectful. Correct. I'll do one more before I get into the last video. Patricia Patrick from Miami, Florida. It's impossible to misgender people who misgender themselves first, and then hand you a list of rules and requirements. As you said that you will respect Blair White, which I will. I know is a dude, but she looks like a woman, and I respect her as a woman because that's who she is. But we naturally stay away, so it makes no sense for trying to police the speech. I get you. Well, let's get the last video. Let's get the last video and get it, and hopefully, how long this is. Shouldn't be okay. Let's get this over so we'll get this coming home. All right. So again, y'all wanted to be independent. Go right ahead. You want to be strong, independent women? Go right ahead. But it looks like a lot of y'all. I think y'all find it out quickly. Now I'm gonna switch to this one.
Strong, independent woman, you earned it, so keep it.
I don't need a man.
I'm a strong, independent woman.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, yes,
I need a man.
Oh, no, you
no,
don't.
You don't.
I can't open a can.
Oh, yes, you can.
This is our soft life era. We don't want to do it all. She don't want to be a strong black woman.
No.
I don't want to be super mom.
No.
Too bad.
We need help.
They lied to us.
Help.
Miss Independent. Well, who that?
You and the woman sitting right next to you.
Exactly.
Who? Where they do that at? Not here.
See, me and all the men watching, we have faith in you even when you don't have faith in yourself.
Exactly.
You can do it. Just keep on pushing. Us men will not let you fail at being a strong and independent woman that you set out to be. Now, before we continue, let me give a special...
Be a livelihood for a lot of women. Look, I was one of those women like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to just do my own thing and, do it by myself. But deep down, I was like, I don't want to do this.
So this is not me ragging or dragging on any independent women out there. It's beautiful. Y'all want to be independent? That's great. But not me. I don't want to be independent. I don't want no bills in my name. I mean, besides the mortgage.
She wants that mortgage in her name because when she starts to act a fool, he can't just put her out. But
Exactly.
you know, she doesn't want to pay that mortgage. Though. We're on to you, sister.
Independent women, stop it. Y'all making it hard for me. I don't want to be independent.
What does independent woman mean to you?
I got it. I could do it by myself. I don't need nobody. I got my own money.
But I got a question. As she just said there, she said, "Oh, it make it hard on you. Why don't you just be who you is and don't gotta worry about it? Why you gotta worry about the independent women?" I mean, most women will call my lovely wife a pick-me wife. I'm like, well, okay. Funny enough, it's stupid. She got picked. She's married. Right at this moment right now, and I know she may be knocked out and tired because it's late, but at this moment right now, my wife had to take care of her family. So she went home to take care of grandma, her mother, and her grandparents. But she has the availability to do that because she said, gotta do that. I said, yeah. So she's not working. She works a job. But she could do that because I take care of majority of the bills, the big ones. So she helps out. She pays bills too, taking the bills. Don't get me wrong. She does a lot of work to pay the bills. But she has the available because she has me to do stuff that she ain't gonna worry about. I'm not gonna come back to her home. Last night she came back home because she stayed by her family, and get it. And she said that was the best sleep she had because she slept beside me. And I missed her, and we was there, whatever. And she's back up there trying to keep on doing stuff for her family. You could just do that. You don't have to be an independent woman. Screw that crap. That's the way I look at it.
My own car, my own house, my own. Shut up. You ain't supposed to do it by yourself. You're supposed to have a partner. You ain't supposed to be in this world alone. You know how hard it is carrying all the groceries in by yourself? That is stressful. You need a man for that.
Not really. You could do it. See, this young lady did it. Up the steps. Yep, that's what I had to do with my mom's groceries and stuff.
I mean, besides the mortgage, the electric, the cable, the internet.
Because the funny thing about that, and it's funny how that is right now, saying that, because my mom right now, I told her I told my mom she got to take care of a bill, right? I mean, not a bill. I'm gonna send her some box and stuff because she's living in the islands, and she said, "Yep, I will carry it up there one step at a time, whatever, to do what it is." So, again.
Oh, one of them money. That all needs to be in my husband's name.
I don't want to be independent no more. I like that.
I don't want to pay it, but because I physically don't want to pay it. I physically do not want it in my name. I don't want them sending me reminders to tell me my bills due.
I told you it wouldn't be long before we started to see women making videos like this, saying that they're tired of being strong and independent. But those videos are popping up sooner than I thought they would. This young lady right here that this guy is interviewing is Lulu, who is a comedian, and she has a lot of followers on social media. She's made a lot of money, and even though she's a six-figure earner, she herself is tired of being strong and independent.
What about the pushback though from the women that are saying, well, I tried that and there's no quality men that's stepping up to the plate? What about those women who have gone through that experience and say, you know what, man, I'm just going to try to do it myself just because I haven't been successful?
I say treat it like you do a job. When you have a job that don't work out, you don't be like, well, I'm done. I ain't gonna never work again. You're gonna keep pushing. You're gonna keep trying. You're gonna keep making it work.
Exactly.
Nope, the women said you didn't need us men, so hold the line.
I'm gonna forget. I got 18 other things going on. I need that to be my husband's job. I want to be his dependent. I want him to claim me on his taxes, okay?
You're telling me as women this is what we fought for? To go to work.
Yep.
To work.
Yep.
In any conditions.
Yep.
Possible.
I don't want to have to do much. I want to be able to come home and know that the bills are paid. I'll put the food on the table. I don't mind putting the food on the table. That's cool. I don't mind.
Nope, we know how to put our own food on the table. But thanks anyway.
Cooking up a good meal.
I can cook my own meal.
Doing the groceries.
I can do that too.
I don't know what y'all be talking about. It's independent life. It's for the birds. It's not fun. I don't like it.
So welcome to a man's world. Now imagine paying all the bills only to come home to a woman who can't keep her mouth shut.
Every day I wake up and I'm like, I just don't want to be a strong, independent woman anymore. Then I remember, I just can't keep my mouth shut.
I've decided
in some cases,
that
yeah.
I no longer want to be a strong, independent woman. I have strong, independent woman myself to death. The other day was at work and this man wanted to put a trash bag in the trash can for me. And I was like, no, it's okay, I can do it. Why would you want to? If a person is asking you to help and put a trash bag in the trash can, like, let him. Obviously, he knows you're able to do it, but why would you not accept help if someone is offering it to you?
It's just like Dave Chappelle said. Chivalry's dead, and who killed it? Women.
Any that's saying that she's happy to be fucking independent and fucking lying. I don't want to be in no fucking independent era. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Who the fuck's happy to pay bills by themselves? Nobody. I would rather chew dirt.
PSA to all you men. Us women, we tired of getting disrespected.
That's right.
Y'all men want to be leaders. We want to be leaders too.
Yup.
Y'all men want to get money. We want to get money too.
Money.
Y'all men want to pay the bills. We want to pay the bills too. Y'all men want to propose. Hell, we want to get on one knee and propose too. Whoa. It's time for us women to stand up. Don't touch me. Oh shit. It's time for us women to take the lead. It's time for us women to pay for the first date. It's time for us to mow the lawn.
Yep.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Exactly. That is true. You should be talking the craziness.
I don't want to clean my car.
That's not enough snow for you to be making a video. Get your lazy butt out there.
Exactly.
Turn that car off and take your behind to work.
I don't want a job. I don't want to be a corporate girly. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to be a boss babe. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be the breadwinner. I do not want to do that. You know what I want to do? I want to be home. I want to be cooking in the kitchen. I want to be cleaning. I want to be shopping. I want to be making brownies. I want to be cooking dinner. Making homemade meals every night, almost every night. I want to do all the things. I want to welcome my future husband home from work with a big bear hug and a, hey, you ready for dinner? Dinner's on the table. I want to watch movies with him every night. I want to send him off to work in the morning with some nice, freshly baked muffins. I don't want a 9-to-5. I don't want a job.
We can buy muffins at the bakery, so it would be a no.
Okay. I know we live in a world where everybody likes to call women lazy for wanting the traditional relationship, but I just feel like, honestly, like, I want to step into my feminine energy. Like I want a man to hold my bags.
Maybe you should have thought of that a long time ago.
Hold your bags.
I want a man to take care of me. Like, I don't want to do everything myself.
That's not what you women been saying for the last 3 years.
And
3, you mean 30.
Black woman, we've been told our whole lives that we have to be the strong, independent black woman. And it's like, I don't want to be that all the time. Like, no. Like, I get it. We're the most unprotected and we're the most criticized, so we have to be.
Not really, but I'll let it go.
But
don't forget, the most gullible by falling for that feminist movement crap.
Do I
have to? And I also make the same thing with the whole, you don't need a man, but you want to have kids and get child support and all that other stuff.
Be that in a relationship, though? Like, why can't I have a man that leads? Why can't I have a man that provides and protects for me?
Because you
were hard-headed and you should have did that from the beginning, but you didn't.
Women said we don't qualify.
I'm retiring the strong, independent black woman. Honestly,
good luck.
I'm tired, okay?
Good luck.
Ready to be evicted, because who's going to pay your bills?
I want to be feminine. I want to be vulnerable. I want to be a pretty, pampered princess. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. Y'all gonna call me a pick-me, so you know.
Well, according to a video that I recently put up, women say that men want to be pampered princesses.
The men want to be a girl so bad. They want princess treatment so bad. And it's our fault. We made them that way.
Exactly.
So we decided to take the pampered princess title and let you be strong and independent. And we'll take that title with no shame.
This whole I'm a strong independent black woman and I don't need no man shit, I'm fucking done with it. I'm so done.
Dang, that sucks right there. Your whole weight is on this thing. You can't turn it.
I'm over myself. So I'm not at home, and I had to fill up my tire last night with air. Then this morning I had to fill it up not once but twice. I'm thinking I'm gonna just blame it on the heat, but I was like, nah, let me take my ass to Walmart. I get to Walmart and they're like, you have a nail in your tire. I'm like, I'm gonna have to replace it. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to replace it, which sucks because last month it stole my debit card and got me not only for $90 in overdraft fees, it was also the money that she put on her Cash App. And I'm like, okay, whatever, run that shit, let's get the new tire, right? And he's telling me I'm gonna have to get some other shit done eventually, but right now, let's just worry about the one. So
okay.
I go walk around Walmart, I pick shit up, I put it back, I got a few things to the side that I'm like, I may or may not get. I'm sitting in there waiting for them to finish, and it hit me. Why didn't I just get the mother plugged and then worry about the shit later? Y'all, I could have spent $15 plus tax instead of $103 plus tax, which ended up being $108, which was $90 plus that I could have saved and waited until later, but I had to have a new tire. And then while I was sitting there, I realized they refunded my money on my debit card that they had gotten stolen. So I was in the positive, but now I'm back in the negative because I didn't think do a temporary fix now, get the big shit fixed later. I could have avoided that if I had a man to tell me what the to do.
Well, here's what I suggest for all the women out there who no longer want to be strong and independent. Get on your knees and pray and ask God to put all the men back in the position of being the leaders and providers. Because if you think us men are going to take that position back on our own after years of hearing how strong and independent and you don't need a man, clearly you yourself need special prayer. So Cat Williams, will you lead the ladies in prayer, please?
Jesus, this is your humble servant, Lord. There's clearly been a miscommunication, Jesus. Just saying this burden is a little bit too heavy for your servant, Lord. If you could just remove this boulder off of his back, Jesus, I really appreciate it, Lord. I'm just saying, Jesus, my cup runneth over, Lord, is what I'm saying. And thing is, I ain't even thirsty, Jesus, not a little bit. You can take this whole cup, the pitcher, the carafe, all of it, Jesus.
So for all the men out there who are going to stay here, allow these women to be the strong and independent person that they plan to be. And for all the men who are planning to get your passport and leave, let me warn you, some of these women are not going to let you just get on a plane and go.
Let me go! Let me go, you're gonna go to jail!
Oh, wow.
Tell the police that no. No. No, I don't care. Since you try to break it, I don't care. I ain't trying to break that shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, nigga. I want my freedom. You don't have no freedom, man. You're fucking mentally retarded. I don't care. Stop. You making me this way. You drive me crazy, bitch. Let me fuck go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go.
Damn, she's strong. But clearly she does not want to be independent. Hey, bruh, when you get your freedom papers, head straight to the airport.
I'll leave it. I will leave it at that. Oh, Lord. But again, like I said at the beginning of the thing, there are many women out there who do good. But God made us this way, okay? People always talking about, oh, we're gonna do, women are God's gift to men. Yes, but you are supposed to be helpmates. You're especially into helping us work to do greater things. We do certain things in the relationship, and they do certain things in the relationship. There's some relationship who the woman stays home, and take care of everything, and the man goes to work. There's some who do 30-70. Some do 50-50. Some in the reverse role. There's some women out there who do a lot of work and the guys stay home. We're supposed to be together into this. But there's some nonsense that happens in there. There's some other videos I could have played and showed it. But I just wanted to just talk about it because, as you can see, womanhood is under attack. not by men. Anybody? I'm talking about men, by crazy people, by the politicians, by the movie industry and all that stuff. Because right now, I'll say this: the movie industry, y'all on strike, the actors strike. To be honest with you, movie industry, I really don't care, because y'all, including the writers part, but they're like, oh yeah, well, this is hurting us. With all the trash you've been writing, all the movies, you get what you get. I'm sorry, I don't feel so bad for you. I do feel bad for those with the whole taking an image and owning the rights to the image. That I feel bad. I do feel for the actors that way. Other than that, take a break for the movies, because I have not been in the movies. The last movie I went to watch was Wakanda Forever. The movies have not pulled me in that regard. So, again, like I always state, alright? There are women out there that do great things, and God bless them. My wife, my grandma, my mom, my wife, my mother-in-law, all of them do great things. They might not be billionaires. They might not be millionaires. They might not be 1,000 years. But seeing what my wife is going to her grandparents, and seeing what her grandfather is doing with her mom, her grandmom, and seeing that they've been married for 60 plus years, that's a beautiful thing. Her parents been married for 33 years. I'm hoping I live long so we could be at least up there, 33, maybe 30, in the 30s. I made sure to make an effort to find the right person, and that works for both men and women. Find the right person, because again, a bad woman will turn a good guy bad. A bad guy will turn a good woman bad too. It works both ways. But you guys carry remember, when you carry most of the debt, you guys are on more depression pills than before, and then you got the industry, you got the corporations and the politicians trying to trick y'all, because y'all do vote. Most black women vote. 95% of black women vote Democrat. Men have dropped down a little bit more because they find out things. And like I just stated in this show tonight, some people can be Democrat or Republican. Both is crappy. I showed Republicans to be bad too, as they can also do stuff horrible to him. But it's the way things are. But remember, evil comes in all shapes, sizes, sex, creed, height, gender. It makes no difference. Evil's evil. And of course, as you see, I always say, remember, people are stupid, individuals smart, be that smart individual. Thank y'all for giving me time. Remember, you can go to all, if you go in the description, if you have a video platform that has a description, you could check out other places where you could go, and also check out the podcast on iHeartRadio. That's the newest product, as you can see. So check it out there. So again, have a good night. I'll check y'all next time for Project Over Mike. Next Thursday, Beat Square. We had about 22,000 people in the building. Thank y'all for giving me your time, your ears, and everything. And I hope you have a good night with you and your family. Peace out. Bye.